Magazine, Detroit, baby, we out here. You see what's going on, we activated, we ain't playing no games.
What up, though, man? This GX from the Foreign Magazine, man. And today, man, we got the honor, man, to sit down with one of the dopest lyricists and wordsmith to ever rise from the soil of Detroit, man. One of the few that had an opportunity to work with one of the most legendary producers in the world, you feel me, Alchemist, and one of the few out of Detroit that had an opportunity to actually meet Hove and to actually meet Nas and to actually get love from him, you feel me, in a serious time, bro. So none other than the GOAT around this motherfucker, you feel me? Boldy James, man, pleasure to have you, my guy.
Pleasure to be here, champ.
Yes, sir. How you been feeling, man?
I feel a lot better considering what I just went through about 8 months ago.
For
Almost been 8 months up to date since my accident.
sure. And then lately, the last big thing that I seen, man, was this crazy ass tour that you had in motion, man. Y'all shut that motherfucker down in the city. MC Search pulled up, Math Hoffa pulled up, just a bunch of love. How was it to see, you know, people of that stature appreciate your craft, appreciate what you do, and just be supportive of you in that time?
Shout out to MC Search, shout out to Math Hoffa. It's everything. The love and support and in hard times, you know, it just helped you mentally, you know, and I was mentally stable enough to just be able to pull through some critical conditions, you know.
For sure.
Due to the love. It was a lot of love. Like, I can't cap, like I broke out the rehab because they wasn't letting my son come see me because he wasn't of age. And it was a lot of people that couldn't come visit me because my visits was restricted. So I just felt like once they taught me how to walk again. I stayed in rehab long enough to learn how to walk again. But once I was taking 4, 5 steps, I knew that's all I needed to get out the wheelchair to the car. So I just broke out the rehab and went to the crib and rehabilitated myself, because shit, the same money I would have spent on insurance and meds and all that shit, you know what I mean? I felt like I'm rich enough to just do this shit at home, you know, wean myself off the meds, because that ain't gonna do nothing but slow your healing process down. Just smoked weed and worked out shit till I got myself stable enough to be able to actually get back outside and move around, because you know that shit dangerous out there, and niggas, if they feel like you vulnerable or they feel like you weak, they gonna try to exploit that. So, you know, but anybody know the truth. An injured animal is the most dangerous animal. You know what I mean? Because I gotta compensate for my weaknesses.
Mentally?
Nah, just strategically.
Yes, sir. And so, with that being said, we talking about a pedigree that you got. Basically, for you to even be thinking like that. Would you go ahead?
I'm listening to you.
Yeah, for you to even be thinking like that, I would think that would go to a mentality that you got, you know what I mean, your pedigree, you feel me, how you came up. So, you know, for those that don't know, you know what I mean, east side of Detroit, Warren. Belvedere. If you could talk about just some early beginnings, just briefly about, you know, just how it was just growing up in that type of terrain.
We grew up in the era where you could disguise being poor. You know what I'm saying? You could dress it up a little better. And then my block was a block that used to slap back in the day. So the drug trade coming up, that just was like second nature, just to see like niggas not working 9 to 5s, but still, you know what I'm saying, acquiring some sort of like success out of whatever they was into. And you could just see the difference from the hustlers and like the regular working class people. So you take to that early. And then sports. I was heavy into sports. So we grew up hooping on like bicycle rims and milk crates and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? We used to hang the shits up on the lampposts in the alleys or like on the trees in front of the cribs and shit. And we used to hoop with the Cedar Point boys, the little Cedar Point basketballs. And growing up, I was real cold with that hoop rock, so I thought I was gonna go pro. But once I realized like I wasn't serious enough with the schooling, and I ain't know if I can get my grades fixed all the way up into college, so a nigga just dropped out, 9th grade, prime time, like, you know, I had a whole lot of eyes on me, colleges and all that type of shit, but I guess chasing short-term successes at the time was more important.
Most definitely. And you went to St. Juliana? St. Juliana?
Yeah, down the street from my auntie Moore old house, along there, my cousin Slick. It was a church on the corner of Longview and Chalmers. We used to hoop at. I went to school there too. It was a Catholic school.
Even in terms of being, you know, raised on Warren or whatever, you also had the best of both sides, because you wasn't one of them type of people that was just on the east side, but you also was on the west as well.
It's what it was. My father was from the west side. My mother was from the east side. I grew up on the east side from scratch. My whole Detroit upbringing from scratch was east side. I moved with my pops when I was like 8 years old. Went to the west side. So all my wonder years was on the west side, because I learned, you know what I'm saying, like a different part of the drug trade. I learned different types of loyalties, and, you know, friendships and bonds was a little different, you know, because I was Asian. I understood shit a little different, so I started bonding with people a little different. So my friends over there in the neighborhood my pops moved me to, they taught me how like to dress, introduced me to like the flat girls of the neighborhood. So now a nigga getting pussy, you know, all that came from the west side. Like my whole style and grace of like the type of women I deal with, certain items a nigga choose to buy at certain stores and shit. That shit all come from west side influence, because the west side bop a little different, you know what I'm saying? 7 Mile, 6 Mile. You know, I went to school on Hubble and Finkel. I went to Cooley High. All that Schoolcraft, P-Rock, Chi-Town, Joy Road, West Warren shit, like, I'm accustomed to all that, you know what I'm saying? So,
Definitely.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? The whole A-Mall, like, West Side, this shit just hit different on the West Coast, because, like I say, this where all the bad bitches was there growing up, so, of course, you know what I'm saying, I gotta embrace my West Side roots, because, you know, that's a lot of who a nigga is up to date, you know what I mean?
And is that where a lot of the, like, if anybody know listening to your music, you say 76 a lot?
Yeah, that's because I grew up, you know what I'm saying, on Stahalin and Outer Drive, between Curtis and Outer Drive on Stahalin. So Curtis is like 6.5 miles. So anybody that stayed across Curtis, a lot of them, they used to rep 7 Mile, you know what I'm saying, that was their flag they was banging. Niggas would be 7 Mile. Niggas would be from the 6 Mile side, but 7 Mile was more popular, so a lot of niggas used to throw that 7 Mile flag up. But I grew up closer to the 6, and all my family was 6 Mile growing up, so, you know, my grandma, she stayed on 6 Mile in Ardmore in the Bronx, you know what I'm saying, my whole time growing up and shit, so I always, you know what I'm saying, been on my 6 Mile shit, but all my friends were 7 Mile niggas growing up, so, you know, the older heads, they had came up with the 76er shit back in the day. So that's where the 76 come from, you know what I'm saying, from the 7 Mile niggas who actually rock with the 6 Mile niggas.
For sure.
Cause there's a lot of that don't exist, you know, like it's a lot of 7 Mile niggas be hunting kills from 6 Mile niggas from back in the day, vice versa. So
for sure.
Our side it wasn't like that, and then, You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of legends, you know what I'm saying, that grew up in my neighborhood, that grew up in life to do some great things in the street, and their reputations precede themselves, you know. I ain't no name dropping ass nigga, but niggas know who they is, and that's why I put the drugs on it, because my neighborhood was a drug zone. It was a hub for like the bag. Like a lot of niggas was holding big cars in my neighborhood.
Most definitely. And so, would you say that was around the time you really jumped off the porch, or was it before then?
Nah, me and my whole family was slick growing up. Like we always been some badass little mischievous boys, but you know, like the parents say, like they ain't little boys if they ain't bad. You know what I mean? So me, all my cousins, and like even in our own right, not even influence of each other. Niggas just are naturally just bad as hell. I got a cousin named Stank. This nigga can't stay out of jail. And I remember like back in the day, he used to steal cars, just be in all type of hot boy shootouts and shit. And I jumped in the car with this nigga one time. And he ran every stop sign, yield sign that he came across, you feel me? So I ain't crazy, this is my cousin, I love him to death, but it was like, it was certain shit I just wasn't with, like nigga, you feel me? Like you trying to crash out, literally, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, then he had a little, like I say, my cousin Slick, his little brother, he was way smoother, you know what I'm saying? He was more like my type of speed, so, you know what I'm saying? Me, Slick, Stevie, my cousin him, you know what I'm saying? Like we all grew up just mischievous in our own right, and we all branched out. You know, some niggas stuck together and thugged it out until, like, you know what I'm saying, whatever played out. But only jail and death took us away from each other for real, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, our whole bloodline, like, cutthroat connivers, like, niggas really on that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Sure.
It's self-explanatory, you know what I'm saying? You run cuz on file and check his resume. His reputation precedes itself. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, who raised me up in my neighborhood, who he in cahoots with. You check his resume, shit precedes itself. It's like, I come from good stock, so it ain't no excuse for me ever not to have made something out of myself.
For sure, for sure. At what point did the music inspiration kick in where you said, man, you know what? I think I'm hard and I'm about to really take this shit, you know what I mean?
It wasn't necessarily me. I always had a knack for just loving the music. It'd be my people's response to like just telling me my shit was different, like my shit stand out, or like chicks telling me they love my voice and all this shit. Like it just was something that I had to make sure I was confident with doing as a profession, because I grew up kind of shy, you know what I'm saying? But like I was just telling cuz, that being shy shit don't get you nowhere. Like, you gotta be a people's person at some point when you're doing business, because you gotta rub shoulders at some point. So all that sitting on ideas and sitting back, you know what I'm saying, just not voicing something that we all could possibly eat off of, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy to just bottle all that up. So
Sure.
A nigga been learning how to ration that out in the right portions to get the shit done. A nigga need to get done within the means of like still having that respect of self. You know what I mean? Like, I don't wanna never do nothing that's so far out of my character, or I color so far out the lines that when I look back on it, when I'm 56, 60 years old, I'll be embarrassed of it, or won't feel like that was me. You know what I mean? Like, everything I do, it gotta somewhat be true to self, or, you know what I mean? Cause even artistically, like, I try not to put too much extra shit on the music, but I also try to keep myself safe in a space where I don't put myself on the scenes or nothing that's actually going on at this moment that can be clocked on real time. You know what I'm saying? I just try to be arts and crafty, and if you know what I'm saying, what a nigga saying, then you know. But I just really be wanting a nigga to respect how artsy I am with it. Fuck the content. Like, that just come from a nigga lifestyle and a nigga upbringing. I be wanting a nigga to respect the flow for real, like, you know?
For sure, for sure. And did Detroit, because what a lot of people don't, or what maybe a lot of this generation don't know, is that you had like a bunch of legendary people in Detroit that had the hip hop scene going crazy that may have played a influence like the Danny Browns and just that whole spirit. You feel me?
Shine.
Yeah.
You know
Talk about that if you don't mind.
All my people, you know what I'm saying, they was telling me just to push the envelope a little harder, right? But I was so caught up in like trying to raise family and getting adjusted to this new fatherhood thing, and you know, still trying to like maintain what I had going on at home, knowing I ain't making no money from doing none of this music shit. You know what I mean? So when you actually see niggas doing what they love to do, getting paid to do it, I never been a guy to hate. It just motivated me more so to like make sure I was honing my craft enough so like I say, when I did take the shit serious, it'd just stick out like a sore thumb. I have my own niche that I carved out with the shit, you know? And watching Sean, cause I actually had a song with Big Sean called on the Fat Raps remix, my cuz produced it. And me and Sean, we cool. I never had no bad blood with Sean, you know what I'm saying? Never had no bad blood with Danny. They part of the motivation why I do what I do, cause they kept me focused enough to at least not get caught up in the shit I had going on, so I can continue to like grind and, you know, keep stumping on the path a nigga was walking on with the music, cause I could've easily got sidetracked and offset a million times for this shit to not even have came to fruition this far, you know? So, yeah, shout out to Big Sean and Danny Brown for even giving a nigga something to look at to stay focused on this music path, you know what I'm saying? Cause I seen I can actually do it coming in the game with guys like that, you know what I mean?
Most
Cause I seen them do it.
Most definitely. Do you feel like you are the leader of the resurgence of this specific type of music that you giving out or dishing out?
Nah, I'm gonna say with this digital world, it's a little easier to put music out, right? And attention span's a little shorter. So with me not being a signed artist and with me taking a more like independent approach, it's just more respected because I can put out content at my leisure, you know? So I wouldn't say I'm the leader of the resurgence of this era. I'ma just say I'm one of the most unique at what I do, you know what I mean? Cause niggas know they can't out-rap me. They might pick beats that bounce and bitches shake their ass to. They might got the club scheme a little more figured out, but when it comes just rapping in general, a lot of niggas can't out-rap me. They know that, you know what I mean? And a lot of niggas be stealing my shit and just putting a bounce on me. I've been noticing that too. You know, a lot of niggas take my lingo, they take certain cadences and, you know, certain patterns to certain shit I do with the flow. But I recognize it because I'm really a student of the game, so I compete when a nigga admiring what a nigga do from afar. You know, I can even hear it in their conversation because if you listen to their old music, that wasn't the slang, that wasn't the angle. You know what I'm saying? And you listen to shit that I've been on, it might not have been nothing, you know, that was the catchiest, but a nigga always respected my flow. And that's what got me this far. So if Hov telling me that I got an incredible pen, or Nas telling the world that he just wanted to be associated with the talent, or Kiss telling me that I'm an incredible, why would I question what I do when that's that's 3 of the most feared guys in the game. You know what I mean? Like, why would I question what I do if they respect what I do, and everybody respect them the most for what they did already? You know.
Most definitely.
But imitation, greatest form of flattery. So I take all that, you know, in with like, you know, it don't rub me the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? As long as niggas ain't being blatantly disrespectful, cause I ain't no go back and forth diss on rap ass nigga. You know, so, and I got a smooth approach with how I'm out here delegating business, and you know what I mean? I ain't really burning no bridges since I've been doing this music shit, you know. So I'm gonna take any form of disrespect, you know, just as that, you know what I mean?
Most definitely.
But I ain't really fuck all that. I don't even look forward to like inviting that shit, you know what I mean? Cause that's just waking up a whole nother demon a nigga running from. You know what I'm saying?
Real talk.
Like I say, bro, I probably stood on the business the toilets out of all the rap niggas. Probably held my ground the best. Probably like, you know, the least starstruck, least worried about what another nigga got going on. And that's like, that's my key to what I've been doing and keeping, you know, my shit up and running on my side with what I got going on.
Most definitely.
Not even giving a fuck. You feel me? I got a bad case of don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So shit, it's just what it be with these niggas. These rap niggas be real fickle and weird and happy they finally in position with some money and some fame and, you know, a little notoriety for the chicks to look their way. Now they tired of, you know, the guys popping all them bottles with them badass bitches, swindling, swooping up all them hoes, you know, that niggas be dreaming about and shit. You know, they get tired of that shit, so now niggas finally in position to even be able to feel like they can look niggas eye to eye.
Wow.
And that's always weird to me, like, you is what you is, and we respect niggas, you know, who respect themselves first and foremost. Like, still gotta carry yourself a certain type of way to get the respect from real mafia niggas, you know?
No doubt, no doubt. And so it was a real pivotal moment in your career where you had to make a decision, like, I'm about to lock in because I'm, you know, I got some shit going on. And if you can, talk about that time frame where you was like, man, this street shit getting, you feel me?
That's cause niggas be running from murders, bro, and real shit. Like I come from Detroit. Like, I'm really a Detroit nigga. Like, this shit ain't, I can't make this shit up if I tried to. Like, a nigga come from the grit, bro. Shit, I gritted this shit up. You know what I'm saying? Took a couple hot jingles, started a label. You know what I'm saying? A lot of niggas ain't believe in that shit. I just kept pushing the envelope with what I had going on with that Concrete 227 shit. You know, Boldy James this, Boldy James that, just trying to push the brand. And now a nigga damn near a household name. And a nigga gotta respect what a nigga got going on, because shit, I just cleaned my life up enough to finally get my license after 25 years. I got a fucking passport. I just did a tour overseas, sold out every show off my own merit, off my own name, no special guest appearances, no none of that shit. You know, they treated me like a black Beatle over there. I was a ghetto Elvis Presley over that bitch, and then you come home and the nerve of niggas to even try to hold my name in the same regard as a nigga that ain't never been on the other side of 7 Mile. You know what I'm saying? Ain't never been off the mile for real. You know, niggas might have shot to a couple states in the city. Cities and states and shit, niggas used to hustle in and shit, but all that shit, man, this shit worldwide with me now, so a nigga gotta respect that.
Most definitely. So a lot of people think like Trapper's Island was was your first project.
Trapper's Island.
Yeah, it was your first project. A lot of people feel like that, but you had a lot of shit like King James version.
Yeah, I never really put that out though. My first project up to date like that I ever dropped was Trapper's Alley for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on record, that is the official. You feel me?
Yeah.
For sure, for sure. So on the state of Detroit right now, how do you feel about where the city is going, and what do you think can be improved?
I mean, I actually think everything that's going on is the most turnkey shit I ever seen going on in Detroit. I can't lie, bro. Like, this a beautiful time, bro. I never seen it happen and how it happened, but the way it happened is actually like way more. It's just way more than I expected. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so much going on around here. Like, that's for the greater good of the neighborhood. You can't hate on nothing that's forward progress. Niggas doing to feed their families and better themselves, bro. Like, you can't hate on none of that, bro. I'm always for that. As long as niggas ain't actually adding to the problem that's going on, that's keeping like the neighborhoods bottomed out and ran down, and you know, actually raising the crime rate and shit like that. Like, long as, you know, niggas rapping about their old truths, and that's all they doing is rapping at this point, and they making something out of themselves for doing it. Like, all the actors, all even the IG models and bitches who they, you know what I'm saying, up their rankings just for being beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a whole lot of shit going on in the city, bro. Like, you gotta respect it.
For sure.
Because it's actually an industry now.
For real. And you one of them artists too, bro. You fuck with everybody. A lot of people might think because the way that you feel me, spit your shit, that you ain't really in that bag, but you could really hop in that bag, and you really fuck with the music that people doing right now in the city.
Like I say, bro, I love all this shit, man. I got, out of the youngest right now, my favorite artist in the city, #1, Skilla Baby. It's my favorite artist. Not only is my little brother, and you know, I sat here and watched him grit it all the way up to the point where he got the streets on smash right now. Big ups to my little brother Skilla. You know what I'm saying? He the one.
For sure.
Baby Money. You know what I'm saying? He another fire one. He ain't, I ain't heard nothing. I've heard nothing but heat from him. Like, it ain't came nothing but fire. Babyface Ray. You know what I'm saying? It's one of my favorite artists in the city as well. Always been consistent with just making good music. You know, Ice Revezo, one of the most consistent artists to do it as well. Vez been putting out heat long as he been dropping music.
Sure.
And we all have our times where we more focused on other shit. I done seen bro on that a couple times. But every time he, you know, he get back on this thing, you know what I'm saying, I always see him level up. So shout out to Vez. Who else music I be fucking with in the city? I mean, I'm just saying, them who I could think of off bill.
What about on the female side?
I was just at Playground last night, cashed out, popped out, turned that bitch upside down last night. She was in there fucking, she fucked the whole club up last night. Like, she definitely make a start. Dej Loaf, always. I'm always the biggest Dej Loaf fan. Dej can't do nothing wrong. Like, anything Dej put out, I'm always with a Dej Loaf record, album, feature, video. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Dej the one. I'm not really up on a lot of the newer artists, cause I've been like recording a lot of albums and making a lot of music, so I listen to a lot of like out of town shit. Probably furthest from what you think I would listen to too. Like, I be listening to some crazy shit. Like even in the city, I was the first one listening to all this Chief Keef, you know, Lil Reese, Lil Durk shit. Detroit wasn't up on that shit before. I was coming back from Detroit, Chicago, putting niggas up on that shit, paying DJ BJ to play that shit in all the bars with me and Didi was on our run, fucking all the clubs up and shit. Like, I wasn't, you know, nigga wouldn't expect me to, you know, be as big of a Chief Keef or a Lil Durk fan. as I am, you know what I'm saying? And I was telling niggas that they was gonna run the game one day. Niggas weren't trying to hear that shit, you know? And I look at what them niggas did career-wise, you know? So I always had an ear and a certain like foresight vision for this shit, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of somewhat why niggas, you know, having some success with this shit, cause I always admired shit that was fresh. I always admired shit that stood out, or like, you know, shit that just claimed its own identity, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it was, whether it was a car, you know what I'm saying, a nice shapely chick, you know what I'm saying, a sexy ass bankroll, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just always admired, you know what I'm saying, the beauties and like the perks and bonuses and benefits of like shit that's, you know, stem from street life.
For sure. So for you working with Al, man, and having the chemistry that y'all got, is it any Detroit producers that you can see yourself working with and cooking up some shit?
Yeah, John Boy, my brother. Like for real, I got real relationships like Dot, John Boy, Knox, Ant Beats. Shout out my brother Ant Beats, you know what I'm saying? I love that kid, man. It's a lot of producers around here, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of producers around here, you know what I'm saying, that I fuck with for real, but I gotta do what I get paid for, bro. See, that's a whole nother ball game we talking about. Like, I'm gonna ask you something. So, if you put out a club record and it's received well in the club, but it'll diminish the value of how your real fans take to your music, right? And they take it as like it's like precious, like it's something that like it's just something to hold near and dear to your heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I make a record that they don't receive well, but the club fan base is not where I make my bankroll at.
Right.
These the fans that actually pay me. So I'm always cater to them first, whether or not the city or, you know what I'm saying, my bitch, my homeboys, they ain't gotta understand that, cause they ain't gotta pay them bills.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure. In my mind, I always felt that outside of the sound that Detroit is known for now, I feel like it's always been an underground, and it still is that underground sound. Could you see yourself, and when I asked you earlier, do you see yourself as the leader, not necessarily of all the rappers, but you got rappers like Courtney Bell, who been working with Royce, and just a lot of dope talent that's on the lyrical tip.
No, I can't take that flag, bro. I can't take that flag. I'ma just say, this. Any rapper, put him in the ring with me, that's really dissect them bars. That's really slow roll and dissect them bars. A lot of niggas say some cute shit, you know what I'm saying? But let's really put them bitches on the scale and weigh them bitches up, you know what I'm saying? Let's see who shit like really got some substance to it, who shit really like gonna hold some weight on that scale. And we was just talking about that prior to the interview. Like, a lot of this shit be like fast food. And fast food lines be wrapped around the corner, but we know that shit ain't, you know, a real nigga. I'm going to Roof Chris. You know what I mean? I'm going to Ocean Prime. I'm going to the good restaurants. I'm going to go eat me, you know what I'm saying, a boss ass meal, you know? Cause I look at myself as a V12 engine, you feel me? I can't put 89 in this, you know what I mean? Like, a 93, you know what I'm saying? Gotta put the good shit in here,
Straight
feel me? So, for real, like, and that's how the music is with me, like, That's why Jayz, Nas, Jadakiss, Eminem, you know what I'm saying? They hold real weight with that pen, bro, because that shit that them boys was scribing can't be mimicked, it can't be duplicated, it can't be, you know, like them are some great works. You know what I mean? From niggas that probably on the same frequency I be on mentally, who just block a lot of shit out and just do them. You ain't worry about how nobody prorating it at the moment, because they know what they doing is great and they know it's gonna be received well in the long run. And that's how I am. You know, I make sure I ain't putting out nothing that a nigga gonna, you know, damn near question if I'm falling off. You know?
For sure. In terms of young artists that's developing their craft, what's some tips that you would give on how to sharpen your pen game?
Just living life, bro. You gotta see different shit. You gotta get out more. You gotta, you know, read more. You gotta see different things to know different things. You know what I mean? To be able to illustrate something different other than, you know, the works you've been putting out. And that's what you hear from me. Like, you hear me growing as a person. Cause I probably am way more well-traveled at the time I'm putting out different projects. I done, you know, been introduced to different people on, you know, different pay grades and different statuses, different knowledge being, you know, different gems being dropped on a nigga. You know, shit. Like, I got a billionaire homeboy, he's just my homeboy. Just hang out with him, talk shit, crack jokes, record music here and there, but overall, he my brother before the money, and without the music and all the bells and whistles that come with him, you know, having a bankroll, you know. And that's how I know my life is different. Like, you know what I'm saying? We were just piecing together 50-cent cakes at the store, me and the homeboys, you know what I'm saying? Now, you know, I'm jumping out of Ferraris and Lamborghinis and shit, smoking fat ass backwoods, and this shit like second nature now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to jump in the Rari or the Lamb or some shit, and they didn't even know how to start that bitch. You know, now I'm damn near to the point I want to do a motherfucking 360.
Straight up. Straight up.
It's just life though.
What's the adjustment in terms of family? Like, seeing like you having this financial success or just success period, and having to manage all the relationships, people wanting stuff, people needing stuff.
That just comes with the territory of like the type of person you are. You know, like I said, I come from good stock. All my guys, great parents, they great siblings to they, you know what I'm saying, brothers and sisters, they great children to their parents. They, you know, we actually buy our parents Christmas presents and pay their rents when they need us and put money in their pocket just because we love them. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about always what I can do for somebody, it's what I want to do for somebody. You know what I mean? It's just who I mean, as much as I be wanting to Scrooge make up that cheese, bro, and just stack that shit to the ceiling, bro. Cause like Cuz said, you gotta have some discipline, so, you know, that paper shit serious, cause don't nothing good last forever, you know what I mean? Like, the best of runs, you know what I'm saying? They come and go, you know? So, you gotta be serious about that paper, but when you getting a certain amount of paper, bro, and you ain't doing nothing for your people, you know what I mean? Like, how can you really live with yourself? You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be the man I am without my mother, you know what I'm saying, pushing and pulling through labor for a nigga. And, you know, I wouldn't be who I am without a lot of my homeboys and a lot of past experiences that, you know what I'm saying, or a game a nigga gave me, you know what I'm saying? So, I gotta keep it real, you know what I'm saying? That's just me. That's just the type of person I am.
For sure. I seen your son at the show rocking the stage with you or whatever, if I ain't mistaken. How he been taking it, man? Cause he looked like he ready for that music, man. He looked like he ready for that shit,
bro. My son is everything that I thought I was as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's confident, He know who he is. He know what he want to do. He know what he doesn't want to do. You know what I mean? Like that kid is he a focused kid, man, and I'm proud of him. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of just the way he stand on his business. You know, real responsible kid. He listen. You know, he love that stage though. He love that music. Every day I wake up, he already got 2 songs recorded. Like he really want this shit. So
Is he in that traditional hip hop pocket, or he just do it all? Whatever come to his mind, he on.
He on this shit. Jack got on this shit. That nigga rap about spinning the block, bro. He gonna spin the block. He gonna hit your top. You know what I'm saying? Little niggas different now, but that's what they be on, bro. You be surprised, like. You be surprised what these young niggas really be into, bro. And with my son, it don't surprise me. Like, I was into a lot of shit at his age, so, you know what I'm saying? It's like, he definitely mine. He definitely my boy, bro. You know, but
for sure.
I got it under control. That's really my puppy dog, man. I got it. I really raised him, so he listened to me, man. He understand, like, when I get on his ass about certain shit, he be in his feelings, and then later on he'd come kick it with me like, Dad, you was right, I'm sorry, you know what I'm saying? I understand why you got on my case like that, you know what I mean? Like, he a good kid, man.
Most definitely, that's what's up. Latest project, man, real soulful, in my opinion at least. What mind frame was you in when you was cooking that up?
Say that again?
Your latest project, what mind state you was in when you
Which
was cooking
one is
that
that?
up?
The Prisoner of Circumstance?
Yes, sir.
Nothing, bro, just parenthood, man. Like, me and my son, we together every day. His mom lives out of town currently, so it just been me and him every day. You know what I'm saying? And that's what wrote that, fatherhood. Fatherhood wrote that whole project, because, like, I kick it with my son so much. And I just be trying to explain to him, like, certain steps you gotta take just to even be able to pull off what you trying to do in life, you know? And he just been with me every step of the way, bro. Since I've been back focused on my music grinds, like, he a big part of that too. Cause I always wanted to give him something to actually look up to other than something I always gotta hide from him. You know, cause you don't really want to hide shit from them, but it's certain shit you just gotta stand on, cause you the parent and just do as I say, not as I do. But they don't give a fuck about that when they see you doing shit.
For sure.
You know, so I actually wanted to give him something to look up to. That's all, like something that he ain't gotta go to jail and he ain't gotta worry about looking over his back. Well, he still gotta worry about looking over his back being an artist, but it's different. You know, he ain't gotta worry about police and just certain dangers that come with, you know, being full blown in the street. He just want to do music and, you know, rap about shit that he been through prior to him making it off music. Cause my son had been, you know, through shit due to me just making the necessary adjustments, you know. So.
For sure. Well, man, you know, I definitely, you know, appreciate you, man. And like I said, you doing some trailblazing shit for the city and for the world, really. Like I said, even with that lane, bro, don't nobody talking like a Detroit person talking. So, you know, a person might hear it and compare it to, you know, other artists that may be in that same pocket. But I just feel like with that bag talk from the jury and even the wisdom of the game that you drop in your shit is just next level, man. So.
From Detroit, bro. You know what I'm saying? City of hustlers, bro. City of the real original fly guys, you know? So, that shit, it's just a part of that nigga culture, part of that nigga lineage, bro. I just embrace being a big city boy, you know what I'm saying? I embrace that.
For sure. But that's it, man. Definitely appreciate you, bro. Keep prospering, doing your thing, man. Peace. Post on the culture. Let's get it.